Hi.
Hi. Yeah.
Sir, I have a question, sir.
But
Yeah,
you are actually
yes.
you are saying
Uh,
you are
sir,
saying
uh,
something. You can
Yeah, tell.
continue that, then we can take prayer question. Actually, meeting ended 40-minute duration, na, so it ended that unfortunately because of that. Yeah, you are saying something, na, Anand? Yeah,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Okay.
We'll take prayer question. No
Yeah,
problem.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. We'll
Right.
take the question.
No problem. Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, yes. So, yeah, I was saying, like, the other areas of transaction advisory services. So basically, FDD is one particular thing. Like, if I had to give you example, in audit, like there are audit like internal audit, statutory audit, forensic audit. So in similar way, transaction advisory has FDD, then sales side banking, then
Mm-hmm.
valuation services, and all this. So when it comes to deal advisory, I would say it's like finding a buyer to someone who is looking for investments,
Mm-hmm.
and finding a target company to someone who is looking forward to make strategic investments, or like that way. So this is very brief about it. So there comes a lot of services like so if you are so that is what they call it, like sales side
Yeah.
banker or buy side banker. So in sales side banker, you get into, I mean, you are engaged by a company who is looking forward to raise funds, and this is not just like, not 5-10 lakhs or something, a huge amount in
Huge amount.
CRs. And that's why they appoint bankers. Yeah, the bankers. And then you need to I mean, you need to understand that company. You need to see if they do really have such sort of investors, I mean, in their contacts, who can be interested to invest in that company. And in very, I'm just telling this in very brief.
Yeah.
So you will work with that company, make it sellable. Matlab, company will have whatever, I mean, they will provide you very raw data, but in order to present it in front of large investors, you need to make it very, you need to work on it, you need to make projections. So here it यहाँ पे this financial modeling and everything comes in.
Financial modeling
FDD में financial modeling नहीं होता है. So
नहीं होता है. Right.
yeah, so if you guys नहीं होता है, because FDD
अभी आप जैसे जो
is
कर रहे हो
based on
एफडीडी
your
कर रहे हो कि
historic data.
डील एडवाइजरी कर रहे हो? वैसे मैं ये जानना चाहता था, आप अभी एफडीडी कर रहे हो या डील एडवाइजरी? एग्जैक्टली.
Yeah, so I will say I'm doing both, because
Great.
Protility being is new into the practice of transactions
Okay.
advisory. So they have the combined team for these two sort of sub-service lines. While in EY or other big fours, there is division of teams. So if someone is in deal advisory, that person will do deal advisory related work only. If someone is in FDD, that person will do work of FDD only. But in my case, such thing is not happening. I'm also looking forward into engagements of deal advisory as well as FDD, and also corporate finance related some work is there.
Great.
So yeah, so for me it is happening that way. So in order, if someone wants to discover all the areas, they can join a smaller firms like this, like no, I mean non big four firms, because वहाँ पे transaction advisory में you can do valuation also, you can do financial modeling also, you can do FDD also. But in
Not
big
everything.
fours, this will not happen. You will be working in one particular domain. Yes,
Okay.
it will not
Monotonous
happen
हो
unless
जाएगा.
you request them to change your this team. Unless you request them to change your team.
हाँ जी.
So that is one thing about Big Four. And I mean, yeah, then there could be a chances of getting bored in doing the same thing.
Board. Right.
So yeah, people can have their own view. They can join a non Big Four firms in order to explore all the areas of transaction services. So yeah, and one more thing which I would add, as I mentioned, financial modeling is not there in FDD. So if you think that in order to get into FDD, I need to have knowledge of financial modeling, so वैसा नहीं होता. Of course, you need to have very, very good Excel. That is something I missed to mention earlier, but you really need to have good, really good advanced Excel, because you will have to put insights analyzing raw data of client. So you need to have good Excel skills, and in this services which I just mentioned, that finding a buyer to a potential target company. So in such case, you talk with the management of target company, their plans for future. So you will accordingly make a projection, put it into financial model. Then you will make a teaser of that company, make a profile of that company. Then you will share with potential investor. Find, so all these things comes up, and this also is quite a long engagement. Because it's not easy to find a investor in a 15 days or 1 month. So this sort of engagement,
I was saying this is
runs
investment
quite
banking
for
only, you
6
can
months
say.
or 12 months.
Uh, I was saying this is investment banking only.
Yeah,
Teaser
yes,
and all. You can say this is
yeah.
middle end. Middle
This
end.
is yeah.
You can say this is middle end, no?
No. So yeah, this is investment banking only. Yes, this is pure investment banking only.
Pure
Yes.
investment
So
banking.
yeah, I
Right.
mean this. So what happens? What
Hmm.
happens? What happens that there are companies like JP Morgan Chase or Morgan Stanley who are into business of this only. Like they don't do anything else apart from finding investor and selling a company. So this is their business. But consulting firms, financial consulting firms, they do multiple things. Like if they get investment banking related engagement, they will do that. If they get financial due diligence engagement, they will do that. So they will do all. I mean, they will provide all the services. But this that's why JP Morgan Chase, then Morgan Stanley, these are these are the firms which are known as IB, because
IP
this that
firms.
is the only thing they are doing. I
Hmm.
mean, or the ancillary things.
Hmm.
Yeah. But here when it comes to Big Four's transaction, they call it standard transaction advisory services. Even these people, I mean, even so there is a merchant banking license which is required in order to do valuation related work. So even these Big Fours and other firms have this merchant banking license, so they can do. I mean, they can provide IB services. So that is there. But since it's one of their service, so it's not termed as IB firm. While this JP Morgan Chase and all are into IB only. That's the only service they are providing. So that's why they are known as IB. While you can pretty much get into this, but again, why there's difference? Because all the big deals, all the huge, I mean, transaction are routed through Kotak Investment Banking or JP Morgan Chase or
Hmm.
all these things. So
Hmm.
that's why you will get a relatively less challenging work here as compared to what they might be getting there.
I think you explained a lot of things,
So
and I think
so
most
yeah,
of the
that
things,
is
yeah,
that is
yeah,
something about.
most of things have gone out of the mind also of CFSs. I think so, because these are very technical terms. So भोजन को समझ में भी नहीं आ रहा होगा, हो सकता है, because this can be little over the head, okay? But
Yeah.
these things are very important. The money is actually good out here, right? So what is the salary component like we can compared to an auditor's taxation? What sort of compensation we can expect in this sort of profile? An average range.
I think the compensation is a little. One can expect it would be higher than what you will get in audit. So that one thing, I'm not sure how to quantify it, how much percentage more you will get, but I think since it's a niche profile,
Mhm.
so you can expect that you will get more than audit related
And rate of
profiles.
growth per year,
Uh,
rate of growth per year, over the year, rate of growth.
I mean, you are saying increment, right?
Increment, yeah, increment, yeah. You're not,
Increment, I would say that increment again is very organization specific,
right.
but I believe it should be good because the fees. So increment
Yeah.
is to be dealt
Because in
with
investment
how
banking, they say the
the
bonus is around
business.
50%, 100%. In middle end, 50% bonus only is the
Oh,
component structure. In investment
uh,
banking, bonus only is very good.
uh,
Commission.
but that yeah, that may be the case with the pure investment banking
Pure
firms,
investment bank.
like the
Uh,
yeah. So there are this the few giant investment banking firm, and then there is boutique investment banking firm also.
boutique might not get.
So who are basically not such. So I don't know, and why it has happened. I mean, I will tell you. So they get the success fee. So if
Right.
you are able to raise the fund for your client, if you get the funding done for say 100 CR funding you managed to do, right? And then you will get it's always in terms of percentage of funds raised for that company. So it can be 1.5%, 2%, right? So they gave 2 crore, 3 crore as a fee, which is
Right.
quite high, which is really high. And so then that's why you see that bonuses could be quite high. I'm comparing this with audit, where the fees are agreed at the initiation only, and there is no. I mean, sometimes it increases out because the work has increased, but otherwise it's pretty much fixed in nature. But here I'm not saying in FDD. In FDD also the fees is fixed. Fees
Fixed.
are fixed, but in deal advisory fees are based on I mean, you call it success fee there in deal advisory. So अगर deal successfully होती, you are able to raise the fund in some particular time. ऐसे भी नहीं कि you worked for 2-3 years and then finally you found investor. But if you are able to find an investor in 6 months, so you get the success fee, and which is quite high. मतलब, so that's why sometimes this higher bonuses you can expect.
Have you seen these companies coming in campus interview for FDD and this for CA freshers generally?
Yeah. So I think Big Fours do hire. Big Fours only hire na, for their transaction services in.
Have you seen in
So
campus
I think
interview? Uh,
Big Fours do hire.
but they hire mainly in audit. I don't think so. They have you seen matlab, in situation like in campus interview they hire for this type of roles, FDD and transaction advisory. Even Goldman Sachs, I
Hmm.
have not seen from my experience, but have you seen
Yeah. Could.
for pure investment banking
No, not. I'm not sure. Yeah.
off
No.
campus?
No. I
I think
think
they
that is rare because see, they don't need those many people now. So if they come in campus, वहाँ पे
Mhm.
100 people will apply,
Yeah, right.
and since the practice is not that big, तो
Mhm.
उनको इतना कैंडिडेट इतना सीए चाहिए ही नहीं है. So
चाहिए
that's
नहीं
why
होगा.
they don't really come up with openings.
Don't you
हाँ
think this is
हाँ
a
Audit में they
disadvantage?
need a lot of people,
आपको नहीं
but
लगता है डिसएडवांटेज भी है कहीं ना कहीं बिकॉज अगर वो एक जगह फंस गया फिर रूट क्या है इसका you have to be exceedingly good to be to survive out
नहीं
here.
but नहीं, so you will get a lot of opportunities out there, and because a lot of companies need professionals from FDD background for or FDD or deal advisory background for corporate finance related roles. So I don't think there are a lot of, see, it's a niche area, but in that also you will get lots of opportunities once you make a profile out of here. And usually that's a good indication that if you worked in these roles, that you have a good analytical skills, or you have good excel skills. So these are the indicators. I mean, you sometimes it happens that so I will say, if someone is applying to any company and he is coming from Big Four, so the interviewer will know that, okay, I know this person must be very good in auditing and understanding the businesses and all that. Or he might not ask you about whether you are comfortable sitting late, because sometimes it is apparent that if you are coming from such background, then you must be, they assume some things about you. So when you come from such background, FDD and deal advisory related background, so they assume things about you that you must be very good at analytical skills, or you must be very good at number crunching, because that is what is very much tested in this kind of role. So that is a good point when you get some exposure out of it. So it makes a statement for you itself. You don't need to speak about it.
I think here also the participants can answer
Yeah,
questions, sir. Okay, Anand sir, whatever you have. I think प्रेरक है ना
yeah.
questions.
Please
आप लोग जो भी आराम से पूछ सकते
let
हो.
me.
He's very friendly and he is also mentor also. So he mentors also. Have seen him mentoring also, and you can ask him.
Yeah,
And also do connect in LinkedIn also with.
Sir,
yes,
I have
yes,
a question.
Aram.
yes, yes.
Yeah, Shivam.
Sir, about 2 months back, Inox and PVR announced their merger. So suppose PVR hired you to do FDD of Inox, and so now you have to visit the management, meet with the management of Inox to do the FDD of Inox. So
Hmm.
let's suppose Inox is not cooperating with you, then how would you deal with this issue?
Yeah, so in FDD report, so this is very interesting question. This is very practical question as well. So what happens ki, so you are not, so in audit, I will say in audit, what happens, the management itself appoints a firm that, do audit of our business, whatever, right? So there is an understanding that, we have only appointed them and they are asking questions to us. But in FDD, what happens? The target company, I mean, in your example, Inox has not appointed us. So PVR has sent some people to do FDD. So there is this discomfort that, okay, we have not appointed you, and why we should give you all the details and all that. So that issue is there. That is very practical issue that people, I mean, the management do not provide all the data, and they are little hesitant about disclosing this stuff. And since we require data of past 3 years, it's not just about 1 year ka data. So in FY22, you are asking for data of FY19 or FY20. So it becomes difficult for management to provide that. So to address this thing in FDD in report section. So there is scope of work. So first we agree the scope of work. Like, okay, we will do all these things. We will analyze revenue, payroll, expenses, trend analysis. And if due to management's incorporation, we are not able to perform any such analysis, we will put it into scope limitation. So what will happen that we will put it into the scope limitation, and we will send it to the acquirer. So acquirer will read this. Acquirer will, I mean, in your case, PVR's management will read this. Okay, Inox is not providing this data. So PVR's management will speak to Inox management that we are investing in you. We are giving you so much funding or whatever, and you are not providing us in dealing with you. So they pushes them. So Inox will again come to us and they will say, "Ki, theek hai, le lo data." So this way it happens. So you will just report to PVR. I mean, of course, you will first try to get the data by yourself. If it's not working, then you tell PVR, PVR till Inox. And then if it doesn't happen, then you will simply put it in this scope limitation that we are not able to do this. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Anyone else?
Sir, I have a query.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
for
ma'am.
deal advisory, that prior audit experience is mandatory for deal advisory.
Not really. In that case, you may not be, requiring audit experience. That works.
What experience will be
I
required
mean,
in
in
this
such
case?
case, they might require the.
FDD.
What relevant experience is required for that, for deal
Yeah,
advisory?
I would say they will then require everyday experience.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes, it also happens that getting into deal advisory, they might hire you basis your academics. If you, if you are from some top, if you have completed your graduation from top colleges, or you are MBA from premium business institutes. So that usually works because so I would say that FDD is pretty much concentrated to CAs.
Yeah.
There they do not
Okay.
hire MBAs.
Hmm.
This is something which I have noticed. But deal advisory, you will find MBAs are also working into it. Lots of MBAs,
So for
MBA in
an CA
finance.
like us, okay, like
So
So,
do
multiple attempts, do we have any chance in getting into deal advisory?
yeah, it should work, but again, you need to prove to the interviewer that you are very technically sound about it, because lots of people neither see. I would say, Gansham, that CA curriculum is not designed to address current practical needs of finance industry,
Mm-hmm.
whereas CFA is a
CFA.
relatively a better option in order to get in. Yes, yes. So CA so I will just tell, CA may, it's very limited what we have we have been taught in CA syllabus. So it's CFA is something which
CFA
someone can check
and financial
to
modeling
get
valuation.
into deal advisory.
Financial
Yeah,
modeling
yeah,
valuation.
yeah. CFA is something. Yeah. That also, all this course will help. But
Mm-hmm.
what I'm trying to say, that in order to get into deal advisory with CA without any prior experience of audit or due diligence, it's very difficult.
Very difficult.
In order to get into deal advisory, if you can clear CFA level 2 with no such experience, it's possible. If in order to get
Okay.
into deal advisory with a MBA in finance,
Mm-hmm.
it's again possible.
Very possible.
but
So in deal advisory, it's not restricted to CA. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
you can see lots of MBA in finance and graduates or CFA level 2 pass outs are working in deal advisory, while in FDD is very much concentrated to CAs.
Mm-hmm.
हेलो
हाँ हाँ जी दीपक
Yes.
संदीप
हाँ जी सर मैंने ना आईटीसी लिमिटेड एक और 2-3 कंपनीज की ना ड्यू डिलिजेंस की थी। जैसे ना डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर अपॉइंट करना है, मान लो एक आईटीसी लिमिटेड ने दिल्ली में कोई डिस्ट्रीब्यूटरशिप देनी है किसी को, तो ड्यू डिलिजेंस कराते थे हमारे सीए से। तो वो मैं करके आता था, मतलब उसमें नेटवर्क वगैरह निकालनी या कुछ भी एरिया देखना, पिछले पास्ट 3 फाइनेंशियल ईयर्स की, मतलब सारी बैलेंस शीट वगैरह फाइनेंशियल्स देखने। तो वो चीज एक उसको ड्यू डिलिजेंस कहते थे, मतलब वो रिपोर्ट भी तैयार करता था मैं। तो वो मेरा एक्सपीरियंस काउंट होएगा इसमें फाइनेंशियल ड्यू डिलिजेंस में? मतलब वो मैंने, मतलब वो ड्यू डिलिजेंस लग गया थोड़ी।
आपने खाली रिपोर्ट किया क्या? मतलब आपने कंपनी का बैलेंस शीट लिया या जो भी है MIS लिया, वहां से डेटा
कंपनी का नहीं सर,
आपने आपके
डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर का।
टेम्पलेट।
डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर
ओके,
का, कोई
डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर।
पार्टनरशिप फर्म या प्रोवाइडरशिप होती है ना, जिन्होंने आईटीसी के लिए अप्लाई करना है, मतलब आईटीसी की डिस्ट्रीब्यूटरशिप लेनी है। मान लो मेरे पास एचयूएल की डिस्ट्रीब्यूटरशिप है, मैं आम इंसान हूँ, तो मैंने आईटीसी में अप्लाई किया कि मुझे आईटीसी की डिस्ट्रीब्यूटरशिप चाहिए। तो आईटीसी फिर सीए से कराता है ना, ड्यू डिलिजेंस करवाता है उस बंदे की, तो वो मैं करता था।
या सो आपने खाली कुछ डेटा लिया, उसको आईटीसी का कोई फॉर्मेट होगा उसमें आपने डाला, राइट? या कैसे?
हाँ
वही किया
मतलब
ना?
ऑडिट किया, मतलब
और
नेटवर्क
आपने,
देखा उनका, लिक्विडिटी देखी, स्पेस देखा, सब
हाँ,
कुछ, मतलब हाँ जी।
राइट, बट आपने, you pulled some data and you put into the required format and you sent it to ITC, is it? Or
या
you did some analysis also?
एनालिसिस मतलब ऑडिट तो होगी ना सर, वो सीए को दे दिया तो वो हम ऑडिट करके देते थे एनालिसिस पूरा।
हाँ, सो आपने, नहीं, you what you did is you checked the documents, आपने डॉक्यूमेंट्स चेक कर लिए कि ये जो बता रहा है वो सही
हर
है,
एक
ठीक
चीज
है?
देखी जाए ना, जैसे मतलब सीसी अकेला सीसी पे डिपेंडेंट तो नहीं है, मतलब उनका कैश बैलेंसेस कितने, बैंक बैलेंसेस कितने हैं, उनके करंट अकाउंट कितने चल रहे हैं, वो स्पेस भी है या नहीं है उनके पास, मतलब हर एक चीज को एनालिसिस करना।
अच्छा, और 3 साल का डेटा लेते थे आप?
हाँ जी।
हाँ, ठीक है, then this is like a smaller FDD which you have done. So I think this you can consider as a FDD related experience.
थैंक यू।
बट थोड़ा सा अलग रहता है जो एक्चुअल में होता है, that would be थोड़ा मतलब और रहेगा, पॉलिश्ड रहता है, बट आई स्टिल बिकॉज आपने आई डोंट नो इफ यू हैव यू नो आपने नॉर्मलाइज किया क्या उसका प्रॉफिट, मतलब कुछ ऐसे इवेंट हुए होंगे जो आपको लगता है कि आर वन टाइम,
एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी इवेंट।
तो आपने जैसे मैं पहले बता रहा था एडजस्ट, हाँ एडजस्टमेंट्स करनी पड़ती है प्रॉफिट की, फिर वो सब अगर आपने किया है नहीं किया है तो उस पर डिपेंड करता है आपका एक्सपीरियंस कितना है, बट स्टिल आई थिंक इट्स अ गुड थिंग अगर आप बताओ सामने से इंटरव्यूअर को, तो शायद काम हो सकता है।
एक चीज और बताइएगा, जैसे
आई
इंडस्ट्री
मीन
में स्कोप होता है
हैविंग एन
क्या?
एक्सपीरियंस, सो इंडस्ट्री में एफडीडी का रोल नहीं रहता है, बट इंडस्ट्री में एमएनडे रहता है,
हाँ, हाँ,
यूजुअली
हाँ,
कंपनी का एक एमएनडे
हाँ,
डिपार्टमेंट रहता है। तो वहाँ पे वो एफडीडी वाले प्रोफेशनल्स को लेते हैं। सो
M&A के लिए, हाँ।
आई विल टेल यू कि मैं जिन क्लाइंट का मैंने हमारे जो क्लाइंट्स थे मतलब एक्वायरर जो है मतलब एक्वायरर कंपनी ने हमें अपॉइंट किया टू डू एफडीडी ऑफ टारगेट कंपनी, तो जो लोग से हम डील करते थे वो जब हमसे ऐसी ही बातें करते थे, so they mentioned कि I've worked in FDD only with EY or whatever. So these people eventually, you know, having some experience of 5-6 years with in FDD, they move to industry
इंडस्ट्री,
and उनका M&A department में they now looks
आईटी
after
कंपनीज
the
बहुत हायर
companies, you
करता
know,
है,
potential
लार्सन
deal,
टोब्रो, ये सब।
potential deal या
हाँ,
जो भी है।
आईटी कंपनीज में काफी M&A डिपार्टमेंट होता है आपका,
हाँ
आईटी
हाँ
कंपनीज सुना है।
यूजुअली तो वहाँ पे
आईटी कंपनीज में काफी ज्यादा होता है ये
जी
सीन।
जी यस यस
और किसी का आई थिंक ही हैज
यस
आंसर्ड
यस
सो मेनी क्वेश्चंस एंड आई थिंक लॉट ऑफ
और
नॉलेज।
प्राइवेट इक्विटी वाले कंपनीज में भी।
आई थिंक आई हैव आल्सो सीन कि एफडीटी का बंदा आपका प्राइवेट
यस
इक्विटी
यस
में भी चल जाता है। प्राइवेट इक्विटी में भी जा सकता है, सुनने में आता है प्राइवेट इक्विटी में भी जाता है बाद में जाके।
होता है।
हाँ, होता है।
यस यस तो प्राइवेट इक्विटी का भी काम वही है, प्राइवेट इक्विटी का ही काम वही है, लाइक यू नो टू फाइंड आउट गुड कंपनीज टू इन्वेस्ट देयर फंड्स। तो जहाँ पे भी आपका एनालिसिस है, जहाँ पे भी आपको किसी और कंपनी का एनालिसिस करना है, तो वो आप एक कंसल्टिंग फर्म में करो या एक इंडस्ट्री में जाके करो, जहाँ पे भी वो चीज करना है वहाँ पे आपको स्कोप है, एंड नॉट लिमिटेड टू यू नो सिर्फ एक्वायर करने के लिए, खुद का कंपनी का भी एनालिसिस करना है कि कैसे आगे जाके प्रोजेक्शन करना है कंपनी को, इसके लिए भी यूज हो जाता है ये नॉलेज का।
So, except the big
मुझे
fours
तो
or
लगता
big,
है काफी एक्सपोजर
sir, एक query
या
है. Sir, except big fours or
यस
big
यस
firms like Goldman, ये JP Morgan, अगर small firm hire करते हैं deal advisory में, अगर CA background हो
यस
fully.
हाँ 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 काफी सारे फर्म्स है जो पॉपुलर सीए फर्म्स है, उनके एफडीडी के भी असाइनमेंट्स रहते हैं, एफडीडी के भी
आजकल
डिपार्टमेंट्स
हाँ, वही
रहते हैं,
मैं देखा सीए
So
फर्म
not for
काफी
तो
FDD,
वहाँ पे
सीए फर्म्स आजकल बहुत है, नांगे
deal
एंडरसन
for
फिर
deal
आपका
advisory.
सब चीज में। हाँ, एफडीडी बहुत हो गया है, ट्रांजैक्शन एडवाइजरी टाइप का,
हाँ
उसमें एक
So for
डोमेन होता
like
है।
if
डील
financial
एडवाइजरी में भी
modeling,
हाँ जी,
profile
हाँ जी।
like
या
financial
she's
modeling valuation. So my queries is like small firm do hire CAs for financial modeling, valuation type of roles.
हाँ तो वही कुछ कुछ जो टॉप फर्म्स हैं इवेंचुअली यू नो अब जैसे ऑडिट वगैरह कर रहे हो कंपनीज का, so they get this kind of services also ki you know that company is now looking for buying some other company, so yeah top firm also has मतलब काफी जो बड़े सीए फर्म्स है नॉन बिग फोर वाले, उनमें भी ये डिपार्टमेंट है ट्रांजैक्शन एडवाइजरी रिलेटेड, एंड आप अगर देखोगे उनके वेबसाइट पे जाके, सो यू विल फाइंड कि दे आर नॉट जस्ट प्रोवाइडिंग ऑडिटिंग और टैक्सेशन सर्विसेज, यू विल आल्सो फाइंड कि दे आर इनटू मैनेजमेंट कंसल्टिंग, दे आर इनटू फाइनेंशियल कंसल्टिंग, तो वैसे है।
Okay.
आप ये देखे
even
होगा
even if
जैसे।
you guys know, I don't know, but
हाँ जी।
Protivity is famous for internal audit risk
या
advisory,
राइट राइट।
but they are also providing this service.
आपने
Yeah.
कभी देखा है जैसे बुटीक फर्म से जो निकलता है और जाके उसका बिग बैंक्स में लग गया हो बाद में जाके, बुटीक फर्म में 3-4 साल काम कर लिए और फिर बिग
हाँ
बैंक ले ले, हैव यू सीन दैट ट्रेंड हैपनिंग, या खुद का ही खोल लेते हैं?
देखा तो नहीं, देखा नहीं है,
ओके।
नहीं देखा नहीं ऐसा, not in my not in my connections, but I don't think there would be challenge because हो सकता है, I mean that is
हो सकता है।
quite doable, because and why it is doable, because these organizations are large, like JP Morgan or whatever, or Morgan Stanley, इनको बहुत staff लगता है, so they are not restricting themselves कि someone should be from similar large company should only join us.
I think
So
so.
जहाँ पे भी स्टाफ ज्यादा लगता है, जैसे बिग फोर हो गया, where they look for a lot of staff, so there they cannot be very they cannot be very selective कि बस हमें इससे ही करना है, else people they will not find only, because
हाँ।
anyway this sort of talent is less in the industry. This sort of talent is less in the industry,
और छोटे फर्म में
right?
काम भी अच्छा
So
सीख जाते हैं, ये भी बात
I
है।
don't think
आई थिंक काम भी बहुत सीखने को मिलता है, दैट इज ऑल्सो द थिंग। बुटीक फर्म्स वगैरह में काम सीखने को इतना मिलता है।
yes
एक चीज और था।
फंडामेंटली
हाँ,
सेम ही रहता है, फंडामेंटली चीजें सेम ही रहती है, आपको
ओके।
मॉडलिंग करना है तो एक्सेल की कुछ फॉर्मूला सेम ही रहेंगे, भले ही आप एक 100 करोड़ के टर्नओवर का काम करो या फिर 1000 CR के, तो वो फंडामेंटल सेम रहता है, इसलिए दैट वर्क्स एनीवेयर।
एक चीज और
एक्सेल के
था।
फॉर्मूलाज पूछते हैं इंटरव्यू में?
हाँ पूछ लेते हैं, आई हैव
एनपीवी
सीन।
आईआरआर वगैरह पूछ ले।
सबको बता दो थोड़ा, जो मेन कौन से हो सकते हैं।
So one of my I gave मतलब एक interview sort of था for my secondment to a company. So they asked some questions like what are the 5 things you will consider while making a financial model. So that was one question which was asked to me. Then they asked that what are the limitation of VLOOKUP. So
ओके।
VLOOKUP is very मतलब VLOOKUP तो if you say कि मुझे VLOOKUP आता है, like they will ask कि आपको क्या कौन सा फॉर्मूला, कौन सा एडवांस एक्सेल में आपको क्या आता है, you will say कि pivot आता है, VLOOKUP आता है, तो आप वो बोलेंगे वो मुझे पूछ लिया था, मैंने बोला कि I know VLOOKUP and all that. So he mentioned that what is the limitation of VLOOKUP. So I said कि I mean I don't know if you guys have noticed, but VLOOKUP usually picks up the first cell. I
लेफ्ट
mean I will not get
इंडेक्स मैच
much into
बेटर है
detail of that
आपका।
abhi. So he yeah, so that is what, so he said what would you do if there is such limitation. So he was expecting the same answer which Ghanshyam said कि index match, तो मैंने वही बोला फिर उनको that then we can use index match और sum ifs वगैरह भी use कर सकते हैं. So this kind of question they are asked, but again see looking at the designation on which you are getting hired, the questions ka flow will be according to that. So I will say कि if someone they are hiring at quite a senior level, they will not ask Excel related questions, right? Because they know कि बंदा industry में रह के आया 2-3 साल 4 साल, अब इसको Excel का पता ही हो. Usually Excel के questions if you are joining them in associate level, fresher level, तो पूछे जाते हैं, क्योंकि then they want to know कि बंदे को आ क्या रहा है. So if and I understand कि lots of participants are freshers, so you can expect कि आपको Excel के ऊपर question आ सकता है.
एक मेरा एक
वही
क्वेश्चन
yeah,
एक
सारे
इम्पोर्टेंट था,
freshers
जैसे
ही हैं,
आपका
so it is
गोल्डमैन
pretty
सैक
much
का वो गोल्डमैन सैक वगैरह में आपका ये कंट्रोलर का जॉब होता है, तो वो बैक एंड हो गया आपका इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकिंग, तो वो तो इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकिंग तो हुआ नहीं आपका, तो वो बेटर है प्रोफाइल की ये बेटर है एक्चुअली।
नहीं.
हाँ जी, सीए फ्रेशर वगैरह भोजन को चांद
Goldman
फाइनेंस।
Sachs या JP
हाँ।
Morgan Chase, गोल्डमैन सैक्स, JP Morgan Chase, ये जो भी बैंक्स है टॉप वाले, वहाँ पे इट्स अ वेरी एज आई मेंशन, बिकॉज सीए कोर्स ही ऐसा डिजाइन नहीं किया है कि हमें प्रैक्टिकल जो रिक्वायरमेंट है इंडस्ट्री की वो हमें पता ही नहीं है. हमें आई एम सेइंग हमें एज इन बिकॉज आई एम अ सीए, but CA course is not designed according to what the requirement of financial industry. So that's why they do not hire CAs for core banking related roles. MBA in finance has addressed the requirement of financial industry. CFA has addressed the requirement of financial industry, and that's why they hire those people. into core banking. They mostly hire CAs into क्या बोलते हैं, middle office या back office,
back office, yeah.
where you do the reconciliation of that. reconciliation करना रहता है, जो trade वेड वो करते रहते हैं in US stock market और
इंटरेस्टिंग
Indian
काम है,
stock
आपको
market.
लगता है बैक ऑफिस और
So
मिडिल
that
ऑफिस
is
में
that.
क्या काम होता है एग्जैक्टली, और इंटरेस्टिंग है
No,
वो एक्चुअली?
it's not very interesting. No, I don't think it's very interesting because why it has happened, just like this big four का जैसे ये global practice जैसे इंडिया में चल रहा है फिलहाल. So इनका भी ये global practice है.
Okay.
You guys, मतलब
Got
जो
it.
middle office and back office में है, these are the people who are actually supporting their teams in US. JP Morgan का US में जो team trade bid करते रहता है, उसका वो support वहाँ पे करते हैं. It's not even India support.
Right.
So again, I would say कि that is the profile one can avoid, but
Even
still,
I've
I
seen,
mean,
if I'm not
they
wrong,
want
okay,
the tag of working in.
yeah. Even I've seen, okay, even the CA rankers, okay, जिसका रैंक आता है 1 2 3, और उनको मिडल ऑफिस ही मिलता है, फ्रंट ऑफिस नहीं मिलता है. तो मतलब वो भी इस तरीका के काम कर रहे हैं कहीं ना कहीं, जो कि इतना इंटरेस्टिंग नहीं है. रैंकर्स को भी यही मिलता है काम, बोल सकते हो. हाँ,
Right. So rankers हो या normal कोई qualified CA हो, सिलेबस तो सबका वही है जो एड्रेस नहीं कर रहा है इंडस्ट्री की रिक्वायरमेंट को,
है ना? वही हमको भी लगता है. थोड़ा पैसा
that
ज्यादा
is
देते
why
हैं उन लोग को,
it's very
थोड़ा
difficult.
सा
So
पैसा ज्यादा देते हैं, उन लोग को लगता है इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकिंग हो रहा है. कहीं ना कहीं.
नहीं, बट देन दे व्हाट दे डू कि वो वहां पे डालते हैं उनको 1-2 साल, दे वर्क इन दैट एंड देन दे इवेंचुअली मूव इनटू द मेन कोर बैंकिंग जो है
एमबीए कर लेता
eventually.
है मेरे हिसाब से, एमबीए करके
So
सोचा.
it's there. हाँ, वहाँ पे एक्चुअली इफ यू सी सीए में ज्यादा तो फोकस इट्स ऑन ऑडिट एंड taxation and laws. Very less focus is there on finance. So that's why financial modeling का तो CA में कुछ है ही नहीं. There is nothing on it.
No.
Like in ITT training also financial modeling is not taught.
वही तो ये जैसे ACCA एग्जाम
So
पूछा
that's
था,
why, that's the
ACCA का
reason.
कोई
It's
स्कोप
not
है? आपका ACCA का कोई का स्कोप है? ACCA जैसे एग्जाम पूछा था, तो ये सब फील्ड में ACCA का कोई स्कोप आपको लगता है?
ACCA में yes. ACCA is core audit course. And in FDDA में I mean audit वगैरह लगता है. In my team also we have someone who is pursuing ACCA and working in FDD. So yeah, ACCA being a audit related course, उसमें चल सकता है ये इसमें deal advisory transaction advisory में it should work.
आई थिंक आपने सारा आंसर इतना अच्छे से दिया, और आई थिंक 1 मिनट ही है, तो मैं और ज़्यादा आपको नहीं करूँगा. बट आपका लिंक्डइन का प्रोफाइल का लिंक इनका जरूर शेयर कर दूंगा, तो ये लोग आपको कनेक्ट कर लेंगे. और आपका जो भी क्वेश्चंस डाउट्स होगा तो आनंद सर आप वहाँ पर भी, मतलब ही इज़ वेरी हेल्पफुल, ही विल हेल्प यू आउट. मतलब रेफरल वगैरह में भी हेल्प कर देंगे, जब रेफरल वगैरह में भी,
Yes.
whenever there is opportunity. तो आई थिंक थैंक यू सो मच. एंड आपको कुछ बोलना है तो
Sure.
जरूर बोलिए, क्योंकि 1 ही मिनट का है, इसलिए मैं कुछ भी मन कुछ भी.
Yes. तो काफी helpful. It was a helpful session for all of you. And since time is limited, so I would just say
1 मिनट में
कि
खत्म ही
even
हो
if you
जाएगा
guys
Zoom
have
मीटिंग.
some questions on this particular areas of work, yeah.
I think
So you guys can reach out to me.
I will
separately.
connect with them. Okay, and they will give you feedback
Yes,
also. Great.
yes,
Okay. Thank you so much, Anand, for coming. Great.
thanks all of you guys. Thanks, Ghanshyam.